father of Hollywood.com, along with Truthwins.com, presents Dreamland, New Beginnings, written by Dr. Galen Whitley Keith, narrated by Keith Whitley. Chapter 14. Hollywood, 1902. The crowd gathered beneath a spring sun, hats tipped and parasols raised, to watch the great event unfold. On the corner of two dusty roads, Highland and Prospect, stood the newly built Hollywood Hotel, shining with its pale Mediterranean arches and wide veranda. Across from it, a solitary bank marked the only other grand edifice among the endless sweep of citrus orchards and open hills. Beside the crowd, a rope stretched taut, its ribbon catching the light. Hobart Johnstone Whitley raised a giant pair of ceremonial shears in his heavy yet still steady hands. Time and ambition had broadened his frame, silvered his mustache, but his eyes had lost none of their cutting clarity. With a single decisive snip, the ribbon fell. A cheer rose from the crowd, echoing off the bare hills like the sound of destiny arriving. "I hereby declare the Hotel Hollywood open for business," he thundered. The applause came readily, punctuated by laughter and eager shouts. Whitley handed the shears to his secretary, Roy Milner, then raised his arms wide. "Let this hotel be the cornerstone upon which we build the vanguard of 20th century living. Hollywood will not be a village among orchards. It will be a bustling center of trade and commerce. These hills will be crowned with the finest homes, offering views that sweep to the very Pacific Ocean. From these groves of lemon and orange shall rise a city of light." Gasps and murmurs rolled through the crowd. He pressed on, his voice alive with promise. "I pledge to you, I will personally fund the bringing of miraculous electricity to every building, telephone lines in every home and shop, and yes, the electric streetcar already arranged, connecting us to Los Angeles itself so that none may lack comfort or convenience." Laughter, disbelief, applause, a swell of mixed marvel and mirth. Whitley waited a beat until the moment was ripe. "They say Hollywood has given us nothing but lemons." At once, waiters stepped through the crowd with silver trays, each brimming with tall glasses of lemonade. Whitley raised his. "Well, my friends," he declared, "today we turn those lemons into lemonade." He drank deeply, smacking his lips with boyish exaggeration. The crowd roared with laughter, toasting him with their glasses. At that instant, across the street, a workman climbed a wooden ladder and replaced the old Prospect Avenue sign with a gleaming new one, Hollywood Boulevard. Inside the Hollywood Hotel. Within the cool interior of the Grand Hotel, Whitley's office spoke of both refinement and command. Mahogany and brass gleamed, great leather chairs stood about, tall windows looked over gardens recently planted. Maps scattered across his desk, marked in pencil and ink, spoke of a mind already decades beyond the day's ceremony. Whitley leaned forward in conversation with two architects seated across from him, Arthur Barnes, stout and reserved, and Thomas Keith, trim and exacting. Roy Milner stood poised nearby, notebook in hand. "Queen Victoria has been dead 5 years now," Whitley began, his tone sardonic, "yet every plan you present me looks like shrouded mourning for her. Do tell me, why must every blasted architect still insist on designing Victorian houses?" The men fumbled. Arthur Barnes cleared his throat. "Mr. Whitley, most of our recent designs are Edwardian, in fact." "As if anyone can tell the difference," Whitley snapped with irritation. "Less ruffles, perhaps, but they are still dark little sepulchres. Why should Hollywood, bright and sunlit, be shackled in the architectural death garb of London? London is flat and wet. Here we are hilly and radiant. Do you suppose I wish my crowning achievement to look like a cemetery after rain?" The architects exchanged a glance. Thomas Keith began cautiously. "There are a handful of alternatives one might consider." "I'll tell you what to consider, sir," Whitley cut in. He jabbed a broad finger against the map of the hills laid between them. "These two ridges here, they will be the emeralds of a crown. I am commissioning you to design houses that sparkle, bright, airy, timeless, none of your usual mausoleums. Keith lifted a brow. Innovation is admirable, Mr. Whitley, but what precisely do you mean? Precisely? Whitley's eyes lit with fire. Reception quarters upstairs, with sleeping rooms below. Both men blinked, startled. You mean like on a ship? Exactly. Whitley rose, pacing, animated. When I am in bed, I want darkness, coolness, but when I entertain, I want my guests at ease, admiring my gardens and the ridges beyond. Why should my bedroom hoard the view when it is at night I sleep and in the day that beauty should be shared? The men squirmed, already calculating defiance and compromise. Whitley waved a hand. I realize this taxes your Victorian-burdened imagination. That is precisely why I am sending you abroad. Off you go to the Amalfi Coast, to Barcelona, to Valencia. There you will see the kind of houses I require, then return and replicate them here upon my hills. Roy stepped forward, presenting a heavy folder. Arrangements will be seen to at once, all costs assumed by Mr. Whitley. The architect stared dumbfounded, caught between admiration and fear of the man's sheer certainty. 3 months at least, Whitley declared. He slapped the map for emphasis. Gentlemen, what we build today, if done right, will endure long after we are dust. This town will crown Southern California and outlast us all. Straightening his tie, fixing his cuffs, Whitley strode to the door with the vigor of a man half his age. Now, Roy, summon my lawyer. There are 3 other engagements before lunch. He caught his hat lightly from Roy's hand, set it smartly upon his head, and was gone, moving with that assured gait of a man who never for a moment doubted that his vision was in step with the very march of Providence. Come back next Wednesday to hear the next chapter of Dreamland, New Beginnings, written by Dr. Galen Whitley Keith, narrated by Keith Whitley.